Hey guys, guess what time it is? Onion time. We are going to go ahead and get these onions planted. I got these onions off that grate. If you've seen my last video, they were sitting on a grate, and I took them all up and I just put them back in this box, carried them up here. So we're going to get ready to plant the onions. Now this is what I do for my onion beds since last year that I've changed up how I'm doing it. Okay, last year my largest onion was almost 1 pound, was 14 ounces. Okay, this is my garden beds. Okay, let me show you this wood. This wood and this wood over here, they're both marked the same way. Okay, you got a line here and you got a V. You got a line, you got a V. If you notice where each V is basically a valley. Okay, there's a valley. That valley is 4 inches deep. I got a piece of wood here marked 4 inches deep. You guys can't see it. I know the way the camera looks, but we are at 4 inches deep. Okay. Each one of those I have tested. We're good. And what's going to happen is, well, first thing, let's talk about this real quick. Check your pH on your soils is very important. Okay. Last year, I can't remember what my readings were, but I had to add peat moss to it. I can't remember why I had to do it, but anyway, I had to do that. Okay, this year, actually, my pH was pretty darn close to being in this spot. It says to be 6.5 to 6.8. It's right at 6.5, 6.4, 6.5. I'm scared if I make a point to try to bring it in the middle, I may mess up the bed, so I'm going with this. Okay, now each valley that I just talked about, each valley, if you see my little mug here, okay, that's a 1/4 cup, that's a 1/2 cup. These valleys are going to have fertilizer put in them. Okay, I've got the Dixondale. I bought their fertilizer. It's a 10-20-10, I believe. Yep, 10-20-10. And basically, I'll go ahead and open this up. All right, I'm going to scoop out some fertilizer. Okay, we need to, let me show you here. Let me just get this down where it needs to be first. Okay, it tells you 1 cup per 10-foot bed. Okay, these are 10 foot, but I'm only doing 5 foot at a time, and I'll come over and do this 5 foot. So I need to bring this down to a 1/4 cup. Okay, there we go. So what's going to happen is, in each one of these valleys, I am going to go ahead and just start putting fertilizer in these valleys. There you go. And when that's done, then I'll push over all the dirt in that area. Okay. Each spot that you see here is actually going to be where we're going to put our onions. Let me lay the fertilizer in all of these beds and all these valleys, and we'll go back to that. Now, I do want to show you something. You can see the soil's dry. I haven't watered these beds at all, okay? It rained 5 days ago. Let's see how wet. I can see right here the soil's kind of damp in there. You can see it, but I haven't touched it. Let's go in. Look at this. Can you guys see the darkness? All right. That's the soil that's in there. I haven't wet this. Now, we did get rain, like I said, 5-6 days ago. This happens in the summertime, the same thing. All right, hey, let's go pick another bed. Let's go over here. All right, same thing. Look at that. You could just see the color, the darkness. So The soils are perfectly, these Hugelkultur beds are excellent. I love them completely. And these 4 are Hugelkultur. I'll tell you what size they are. They are 3 foot tall, they are 5 foot wide, and 10 foot long. There's my garlic. Yep, and there's my new one I made over there. I just put that video out. That is a Hugelkultur bed also. So there you go. Let me go over here. Let me fill these things up with fertilizer like I need to, and then I'll smooth them over, and then I'll show you what I do for planting my onions. All right. All right, as you can tell, I've got this all raked down now. Okay, it's nice and smooth. Remember, the V is always where the value was and where I put the fertilizer. The single mark is the row that we're going to lay the onions in. So I have that laid right there. It's laid right here. So I kind of do this so I can kind of keep a straight line in my own mind. Okay, what you want to do is you want to grab your onion, and you can put them, it depends, you can put them between 4 inches and 6 inches apart. Last year I did 4 inches or 6 inches. So this year I'm going to go ahead and just do the 4-inch mark. I already got this marked. So now we're just going to go ahead and lay that there. And the onion, I'm just going to put it kind of in where it needs to be. Move it out of the way. All right, now it's going to go there. Now, each one of my knuckles is 1 inch. You basically want to put these onions in 1 inch. So I'm just going to stick my finger in. I'm going to go in 1 inch right there. And I'm going to try to get these roots covered. From here, you don't want to ruin the roots. You don't want to, you know, tear them. You just want to leave them alone. You don't want to bury this onion deep. So I've got to do another one. I'm going to put this on this side to my onion. 4 inches is right here. Let's grab another onion that I have. 4 inch. And I'm just going to go ahead and push down in the soil. Move it around a little bit. And what I sometimes do is I take them, I spin them as I turn them. It's, you know, turn them as you push them to the ground so that way the roots can get in there. And then I'll just cover up the root system with the onion. So let me get doing all of these right here. And when I get all these in, I'll bring it back and we'll go mess with this side. I've got this side done right here. They're all spaced 4 inches apart. I believe there's 60 here. I'll be putting 60 here, so I'll be 120 onions I'm growing. That should be fine. They get real big. Here's the trenches again, the valleys I made, as you can see, all the way across. So now here's that fertilizer I told you about. Remember, the top line's a 1/2 cup. So I need to put half of that in because these are 5-foot rows. There you go. And we're going to add some more in this one. The next one over. Now, as your growing season goes, you do fertilize as you go. And if you're bulbing at that time, you want to use a liquid fertilizer. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and continue filling all these in. And then I'm going to go ahead. I've already showed you how I did my onions. So I'm planting them. So I'm going to go ahead and plant all these onions. And I'll bring you back and we'll talk about the soil real quick, what the soil is. And we'll go from there. All right, it's all done. These are all the onions right here. I've got 66 in each section is what I've planted. Let's talk about the soil. Let's talk about what I just did. If you just seen me use those sticks I had marked, I should have left them here in the back of my truck, but that helped me make the row straight. It kept me in line of where my onions need to be and where my fertilizer is. If you remember, each valley would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 valleys. Onions were in between. That's how I have it set. Every fall, when I cut my yard, I gather leaves. I actually push mow my whole yard and bag it all. I take every bit of it and I dump it in these 4 beds, all of it. And if I had extras, I would put it in my potato bed. All right, all of them. It gets full of grass and leaves. Huge amount. And I till it in. I take a pitchfork and I flip it in. Okay, also, I am getting all my chicken waste, the chicken poop. I have my goat hay I put in these also, and that also goes to my potatoes. So these beds get really full of stuff all the time. Now, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago, I got a load of horse manure. That's what this is. This horse manure is probably at least, I'm going to go 9-10 months old now. Guys, it's all dry. I mean, I just wet it now, but this is dry. It don't smell. It's horse manure from a year ago, basically, is what I think. Okay. So that was put in here. All right. The horse manure I did last year also, in all these beds. One thing that you really should have, and I need to do it, and I just haven't done it, is you should put a water drip system on for your onions. Your onions love a lot of water, And when you go to do one, you do want to put your drip system on top of the valley that we dug. We put the fertilizer in. That's where you want to put the drip. So it'd be one drip system here, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you want to put a drip system in. And that keeps water from spraying on your plants, because you can get mold. You can get a disease. Another big thing, never ever water your garden plants in the evening. Never, because you're going to promote any kind of a mold or disease on your plant. Always water in the morning. That way it has all day long to dry, and you don't want, the moisture or whatever it is setting on your leaves all night. Causes issue. So when my plants start to get a little bigger, I just turn my nozzle down to like a shower thing, and I just put water right down right there and water my plants down. One day I will invest in a drip system. Believe me, I want it badly. Tony's just too cheap. All right, guys, I gotta go. Got a lot more to do, and more gardens to take care of, get things ready, and hopefully we can have a great garden season. I hope all you have a great garden season. All right, y'all take it easy. Have a good day. Be safe.